So these are all the basic tools that any handyman, DIY, maintenance guy, anybody that loves tools or likes to work with their hands, these are the basic tools that anybody should have. I'm going to show you guys how I fit all of this into this little backpack right here. What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Billshowto. Today I'm going to run through the tool bag that I use the majority of the time. This bag here is a simple backpack that I carry around with me pretty much 90-95% of the jobs that I do. Whether I'm doing the job or I'm simply quoting or investigating, this bag is always with me, has all the tools that I need to get myself going. Anything else that I need, I simply carry along with me on top of this bag. So this bag goes with me everywhere. I do a lot of work in units and I have to walk around sometimes, so having this strapped to my back is the best option. It was a bit expensive when I bought it. I paid, I think, $130 for this bag. However, it is specifically designed to carry the majority of your tools. Just a couple cool features. On the bottom, it's got a plastic hard base to it. So that means that even though I throw my bag around, if I happen to drop it, it's not going to damage any of the tools inside. At the same time, it allows it to carry a lot of weight. Now, this has a lot of weight in it at the moment. However, I am able to carry it on my back, which means simply put it on my back and off I go. So I'm going to run through the basic tools that I carry around with me everywhere that I go. This is all you need to get yourself started. Whether you're a maintenance guy, you're a handyman, you collect tools, you like to work from home, you're the average DIY person, this bag is from zero to hero. I recommend this bag for everybody, and I'm very impressed that it's lasted 2.5 years with no signs of wear and tear. In terms of the zippers, which I was a bit worried about, I thought carrying a lot of weight and opening and closing a lot of times I'd have a lot of problems. Nothing, no fraying or anything on the stitching. Everything's perfect. I don't want to run too much on the bag. I'm going to run straight through and open it up and show you guys what I carry the majority of the times. Let's do this. Alright, so I'll begin with this middle zipper right here, which I was initially a bit concerned about. Being a zipper, not having enough access to get in and out, be able to pull your tools out while you need them. I didn't actually realize this was a function when I bought the bag. However, the bag zips all the way down. So it zips all the way down and it opens up just like that. So now you can see this is the majority of my tools sitting in here. Once again, this is the middle compartment that I'm about to run through, show you guys what it is that I carry. And like I said, these tools that are in here are the foundation for anything that you need. It's got everything you need to get yourself started, and anything else is simply added on as you go. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Alrighty, first things first, flathead screwdriver. This is a large one, so this one I can use for prying a lot of bigger screw heads that if I need to remove. So this is my large flathead screwdriver. I've got here a square, okay, it's an adjustable square, which means I can simply twist the knob down there and it adjusts on the side. One of the best features about this, apart from having a spirit level, is a lot of times you'll find that you don't have your pencil on hand or your pen or your Sharpie or whatever it is that you're using, and you need to make a scribe. If you've already got this set where you want to mark your lines and then you have to go run off and find a pencil, it's a bit of a pain. So on the side here, show you guys, there's a little knob on the side. If you unscrew that, you've got a built-in scribe. So it's a little pin that I'm able to scribe anywhere I need. So I thought that was a pretty awesome feature. Next thing, 7-in-1 scraper. Now I'm not going to run through the 7 features itself. However, this one here you will need to carry with you, whether you're removing screws or nails, or you can use the little head up there just to simply pry them out. You've got the scraper function, you're able to open up paint tins. It's got a little solid base on the bottom, so if you do need to hit something down, it's very, very rigid. So I'm able to get it in behind the skirting boards or any other kind of trim, pop that off. I can use it to pop up tiles. So very, very handy all-round tool. Next thing is a pair of pliers. Medium type of pliers, and I mean medium in terms of pricing, so it's not a top end, it's not a bottom end. Gets me through everything that I need, so long as water doesn't get in your bag, which so far it's been pretty good. It's pretty resistant to the weather, as I carry this bag around in the rain a lot as well. It's been pretty good. So these pair of pliers, awesome, standard pair of pliers, nothing special. I've got a little mini flathead screwdriver for any of those tight areas that I need to get into and I'm not able to get this bigger one in or my medium size screwdriver in. So a mini flathead screwdriver. Next, I've got this one here is from my old bag. I've kept this in there because it's a very handy tool. As you can tell, it's got a bent shaft. It's also got a little fork on the top of it that allows me to be able to pry out any kind of nails, screws, and also to put it in tight areas where I need to put a little tension on it. So that little bent shaft on the top allows me to be able to put that tension on there. So I keep this tool with me because there's a lot of times where this will come in handy to have a bent shaft, and unfortunately this isn't a standard screwdriver or a standard tool that you'll find everywhere. Next in line, I've got a whole range of chisels. So once again, these aren't expensive chisels, okay? They usually come in a pack of 3, so there'll be a pack of 3 like that, small, medium and large one. I've got a perfect set, which is I think this one here. Yep, that one there's the fine one. This is for all my woodworking, and I've got a spare set, which is this one here. If you can see the top of that, it's all damaged on top. This is what I use in my emergency, basically to get me out of trouble, really. So anytime that I need to hit something out of the way, I'll use this chisel. Even though it's meant for timber, I still use it on steel and everything else. It gets me out of trouble. Like I said, I've got 2 sets. This one here is my emergency set, and that one there is my woodworking set. So I've got a full set in there somewhere. Next thing, we've got some grips. So some adjustable grips. Okay, I've got 2 sets. This is the standard ones that you'd usually find anywhere that you buy. Okay, so multi-set just like this. This one here is a standard that you'd find, which is just the straight teeth on it. Okay, this one here is a specialty one where it's got a rounded section in the middle. So this one here is used for any time that you want to moving any kind of plumbing piping, or if you want to get a good grip on a rounded nut or bolt. This is perfect. This is exactly what you need, and that little groove in the middle is what allows you to bite onto it. So I've got 2 sets of those. That'll also get me out of trouble. Most important, I'd have to say, is a tape measure. Okay, a good quality tape measure. And when I say good quality, I don't mean high pricing. I mean simply goes in and out real nice and easy. And I think the most important feature that most people don't really talk about is having a wide tape. Now, having a wide tape allows you to bend it and position it exactly the way you want. So if I needed to measure something that's at a distance, if I had a narrow tape measure, this wouldn't hold up. So I'm able to continuously pull that out until it gets to the bending point, which is probably, I'm at the moment around 2 meters. So that's what, probably almost 8 foot before it starts to bend, which is an extremely important feature, especially when you're working on your own. So good tape measure is what you need. Next, I've got a shifter or an adjustable wrench. This one here is, the reason why I purchased this one is not only because it's small and handy, but also the teeth on the top. So the 2 bits of metal on the top are very, very narrow. And the reason why I use that is sometimes you have to get into tight areas, whether you're removing taps or anything like that, where it might be behind the tile, you might have to remove the spindle. So these narrow teeth actually allow me to get in those tight areas, and also at the same time I'll be able to grab the small headed screws or bolts, sorry. So anything with a small head, I'm able to grab with these small pliers. With the adjustable wrench. Next thing I have is my Allen keys. So these little keys here, perfect little set that comes all in one. So anytime that I need to find the right size, I'm not searching for the old style where they'd be loose everywhere in the bag. So this one here allows me to get all the sizing that I need all in one little tool. So this is always in my bag. Next thing I've got is just had a mind blank. Okay, so this is for my rotary hammer. Okay, these attachments I don't use here. This is all for masonry bits, but I do keep it in there because anytime that I do carry my rotary hammer around with me and I'm drilling into masonry, concrete, brick, whatever it is, I keep this with me in the bag so I don't have to go looking for it later. Everybody's best friend, WD-40. Perfect for everything. This one here's been in my bag for a while. It's a small one, so it fits perfect in the bag, and it's also got the nozzle on the top so I can get into nice tight areas. So perfect, WD-40, must have in your bag. I've got a spare set of blades. So these are just small razor blades, and I'll show you guys what tool I use that for later on. It's just simply for a scraper. Okay, next thing I've got here is an attachment, which is a socket attachment for my impact gun. So my impact driver has a socket set attachment, which I'll show you guys in a couple seconds what this one here is actually for. Very, very handy, very important tool, and it doesn't take up much room, so it sits perfectly in my bag, and I'll show you guys what I use that for right now. Alright guys, so with this, what I use it for is all these sockets. Now what this allows me to do is attach these sockets to my impact driver rather than using the wrench itself. So what I do is simply pick the size that I need. So if here I've got a 1/2 inch, okay, 1/2 inch socket sits straight on top of there. If I pull this out, I'm able to then remove my regular bit and attach my socket onto this. Alright guys, the next thing I've got is a pair of tin snips. So just a standard pair of tin snips. I very rarely use these, however when I do need them, they're always in my bag ready to go. They don't take up too much room considering they sit flat at the bottom of my bag, so I've always got these in there as well. Next thing is a wire brush, so a steel wire brush, just like that, small cheap one. Doesn't have to be expensive because as long as it's rigid, that's all that matters. This is used for cleaning any rust or if you want to get any debris out of a certain area. Perfect little tool to have with you, and I carry that all the time. I've also got a spare nozzle for my caulking gun. You can never have too many of these. I've got them laying around everywhere, so I've got a spare one in here in case I ever need one. Next thing I've got is a pair of needle nose pliers. So the same brand as the other one, which is the Vice Grip. Okay, I think it's an Irwin brand, but one needle nose, one square-headed nose. So obviously needle nose for be able to get in those tight areas. Also a must-have. So I've got here on the side couple extra bits for my masonry gun or for my rotary hammer, another chisel on the side, and that's it for this middle compartment right here. However, there are a lot of hidden pockets. So up on top, for example, I've got another hidden pocket up here where I have my spirit level. So a magnetic spirit level, perfect little small spirit level that I keep all the time, perfectly sits up there in that area up on the top. And then that pocket just simply goes straight back over. A couple more hidden little areas. So we've got this pocket right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see. So I've got another pocket here. What I keep in there is an electrical tester. Okay, it's got a torch on the back of it. Electrical tester obviously for testing electricity, making sure that there's no current when it is time to work in any power outlets. So very, very important. It's not working at the moment because I've got the battery backwards inside. The reason why I do that is to simply save the battery without it having corroding inside. So very, very important. I've actually got 2 of these in my bag because that's how important they are. Next thing we've got is some plumber's tape or some piping tape. So whatever you want to call it, Teflon tape. So simple plumbing tape that sits on the thread of your copper pipes. So we've got one of these in there. Next thing I've also got is some mini screwdriver sets. So these mini screwdriver sets are very important. I've got some Phillips and flathead screwdrivers in there. So this is for all your smaller things. A lot of times you'll find your bathroom fittings now, so your shower towel rails, your toilet roll holder, things like that, they'll have a little screw on the bottom of it and no screwdriver will get to it except for these little ones right here. So very, very important. I've got a full set of that sits in my bag as well. So for this pocket, I think that's it. Oh, got one more, electrical tape. So just standard electrical tape that sits in that pocket also. I've got one last pocket for this center compartment, which is this pocket right here. It's a clear pocket. Okay, this is where I keep the majority of my markers. So majority of my markers sit in here. I've got 2 carpenter's pencils. Okay, I've got another tester, so another electrical tester. This is my spare one that I was talking about. I've also got 2 Sharpies, okay, so one small and one thick one. So this is for marking anything that I need to mark out. I've also got, this one here is an awesome tool. So this is a spring-loaded center punch. Anytime that you're drilling into steel or even tiles or anything like that and you don't want the drill bit to move around, okay, you need to put a center punch in there. This one here is a spring-loaded center punch. So I'll show you guys right now how to use this spring-loaded center punch. It's that good that I'm gonna have to cut this video for a second and show you guys exactly what this is capable of. Alright guys, so with this center punch, it's spring loaded, which means that rather than having to hit it with a hammer to get your center punch marked onto your surface, you simply press down on it and it'll click, and that'll drive the spring to hit the pin into the surface, causing your center punch. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll display it on the tile. So let's say for argument's sake I wanted to put a center punch right here. Simply press down till you hear a click. And there you can see it's automatically center punched, ready to go for the drill. Likewise, got here a piece of steel. So same thing, if I was to just press down, it's somewhere along the middle until you hear the click. Once again, let that focus. You can see there, center punched, ready to go. So now that I've shown you how awesome this center punch is, next thing in here is another spare caulking gun nozzle. Okay, so just a simple nozzle. I've got an attachment. Okay, this is an extension attachment, Phillips head for my impact driver. So I'll show you guys in a bit what that's like now that we're running through this middle compartment, and also a spare set of blades. Once again, this one is for my utility knife, so I've got this one here as a spare. So that, my friends, is the middle compartment complete. So just that middle zipper, not sure if you guys can see, but I've got a whole stack of tools. All of this was just in that middle compartment. So now I'm going to run through a couple more compartments that I've got within this bag, and we'll go from there. That's my middle compartment all finished. We'll just zip that one up and we'll move on to the back zipper. So I've got a back zipper right here. Okay, this is where I carry all my heavy tools. So I've got here my impact driver, 3-volt impact driver that I've had for ages. Awesome LED lights on it. Okay, I've had this for about 5 years now. Still working perfect, nice and strong. No need to replace it. Very, very happy with it, and I'll do a separate video on my my drills on another day. Next drill, I've got the drill driver. Okay, so this one here is used for the hole saws, my drill bits, things like that. And also it's got the hammer function, so I'm able to also put the masonry bits on there and also drill through concrete, brick, and also tiles, which you're not supposed to. However, I have a special way to do that, and I'll show you guys in another video. Next thing I've got is a flat pry bar. So this basically does the same job as a crowbar. However, this one gives me more ability to do other things, such as putting this behind your timber or your skirting boards and able to pop them off without damaging the wall or even the timber. So I can also remove tiles and things like that. So very, very handy. Always kept in my bag. Next thing I've got, basic claw hammer. Okay, mid-range in terms of pricing, so it's a Stanley brand. However, it's got a perfect swing on it, awesome weight distribution. Very, very happy with it. I've had this for about 5 years, and I don't think I'll be replacing it anytime soon. So next thing in the back zipper, I've also got my masonry bits. Okay, so I've got here a stack of masonry bits that are specifically used for the drill driver. Now this isn't used on my rotary hammer. Okay, these bits are for the drill driver, so I'll show you guys in another video how that looks. Also, I've got a whole bunch of drill bits. So these drill bits here are able to be used on all three materials: plastic, timber, and steel. So no need to go looking around for specific drill bits. I can use all of these ones right here for the majority of my jobs. So that's always in there as well. My battery's about to die, so I might cut off in a second. The next thing I've got is this here. I've got a replacement for it. So basically a socket set. Okay, it's a DeWalt socket set. I got a bit of water in there the last time I was working with this in the rain, so it's starting to rust up. As a result, I've got a new replacement one right here, which I'm about to rip open and also add that to my collection. So this will be my new set, which will be in my bag. Okay, basic socket set. And that's all that there is in the back compartment of my bag. Now the reason why that's all there is, this is a very, very heavy compartment, heavy section, so I don't have as much room in there to keep my tools. It's all the bigger, bulky tools that sit in the back, and that's the way I've got it. One more last compartment to go through, and that's this section right here at the front, and I'll run through that in a second. Alright guys, so I got my battery changed, ready to go through this last compartment. Okay, I've got a couple drawstrings here that I go through. I've got my main screwdrivers that I use straight away, easy access right off the top. Okay, first one in line is a medium size flathead screwdriver. Next is a large Phillips head screwdriver. And then I've got also a medium size Phillips head screwdriver. And then I've got these two small flathead and also Phillips head screwdrivers. So right there, that's all I've got. Easy access straight off the front of the bag. able to get into that straight away. In here I've also got a whole range of different pipe extensions, so pipe sockets or tube sockets. Okay, this is used for spindles to get off the taps. A lot of times you find that the tap is set real deep into the wall, and to get the spindle out, there's not enough room, especially when there's tiles. So I slot this right over the spindle, and then I'm able to remove the spindle just like that. So I've got a whole range of different sizes here that I've always got in my bag. I've got here a spline roller, okay, so very important when I'm replacing fly screens or making up new fly screens, so a spline roller, very important. I've also got a spare adjustable wrench, a very cheapy one, but just in case I've got a backup one, in case I ever need it. Once again, another caulking nozzle. And this is what my utility blades were for, that I had the spare ones for. It's basically a scraper blade, okay, scraper utility blade. Nice and easy, flips right over. Perfect little tool that I've always got in my bag. Now for the last little zipper here that I've got just a basic headlamp. So a headlamp is all I've got in that top section. I think I might have one more bit in there. No, that's it. So just that headlamp, that's the last piece that goes in the bag. So this bag right here, this Milwaukee, perfect little section of a bag, had all these tools in there. So I'll show you guys exactly how many tools there were inside my bag. And it's very, very important that this is the fundamental tools that I'll be using all the time. So the fact that I can carry it around in a small backpack just like this and get around nice and easy everywhere that I need to go is unreal. I'm very, very happy with this bag. If anyone's out there looking for a tool bag, definitely check these out. They might have dropped in price by now since I bought this one a couple years ago. If there's anything else that you guys want to learn how to do in or around your house, don't forget to put it in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to show you guys how to do that. Like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.